You're watching the Spotlight After Show here live on Periscope. We just finished watching the top 6, and I have quite a few guests here with us. I'll start over here. This is Jonathan Carmack, former GA, and was a contestant on, what was it?
Beat 'em.
I was on all of them.
Fourth place.
Every one of them. And I did so well.
Next, I have Jared Adams. He was the GA for a little bit. Everyone knows Dalton Hutton. He won. Lisa Bartram, the director of campus activity. Dana Gabbard. She did social media for a while. She's an alumni now. Erin Bowling, who's been on the show before. She does our social media and the backstage interviews. Jonathan Lawson, who used to run the show very badly. And then,
If I did bad, what is this?
then we have Brad Pierce, who was the guest judge tonight, and then he used to be the host of the Spotlight. Guys, oh, and apparently you mean Brandy Norman.
Take a number with the rest of them.
Who had it?
They went to the top, or we watched the top 6. The top 3 were passed on, and then the judges used a save, which I was a little surprised on the save with the judges. You all, this side of the table, or this side of me. Brad, you were up there with me. No, I'll be back.
Get the important table first.
Brad, you were up there with them. Did you have any opinion on it whatsoever, or did they?
Well, it was hard for me because I haven't really seen Maya before, so I tried to kind of stay out of it. I thought that she showed a lot of glimpses. I really wish she hadn't hit that chalkboard or whatever happened in the middle of it. But they're basically basing it on how well she had done throughout the entire show.
Okay. Aaron, you've done interviews with her and you've been to everyone. What did you think of them saving her? Was that the best choice, or?
I was really surprised because after tonight's performance and kind of her past couple ones, I would assume they would have saved Slade, because Slade proved himself tonight with that song that they chose for him. And I was actually really surprised, and I don't think we've ever had a top 4 before instead of just a top 3. So I'm even surprised they used that.
Yeah, we've even had arguments in the cab office about them having the save at this point.
Actually, there's been one other time where there's been 4.
I haven't been here long enough for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But when you're here long enough, that's what
I was
you know.
gonna say, how
You know
long
the
ago was that,
history.
Lisa?
It's been a while.
It was still being recorded on VHS.
Lisa, were you surprised with the save?
No, I wasn't. I think it kind of hurt Maya last time that we had to record her performance and show it on the big screen. So I think it kind of hurt her not being there. But I think the performance was great. I think if she'd been there live that time, things might would have been a little bit different, turned out a little bit differently. But I think Maya's past performances and I think she did really well tonight. I mean, everybody has the one bad note every once in a while, and you got to go for it.
Yeah.
If you hit it, it's great, and if you don't, people remember it, but you just got to move past it. And I think she moved past it really well, and I think she kind of deserves to be in the finale.
Carmack, how do you think she did?
So much goes into the judge's pick. As being a former contestant, Brad can account to this, Dalton can too. So much comes to the song they picked for.
And you always count.
Well, and on the same side, Brad really's been all over this thing in many different aspects. But we have set it with the judges to choose the songs, and a lot goes into what they think about each performer. They want to challenge, but sometimes they accidentally just but they'll challenge people, and then sometimes they just hand stuff to people.
Mm-hmm.
And back to the save, I think that last year's set of judges, I think they would have saved Slade hands down because he was the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of cool that they didn't go with the popular vote, but still a little bit surprising. It did not seem to me, though, that they purposely handed anybody an easy song tonight.
Yeah.
But it does happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my next question, Jared. What do you think Do you think that they did unfair with anyone, or was it pretty even across the board?
No, I don't think so at all. This was my third or fourth time. I think I've been to every spotlight this season but one. It seemed like it's pretty fair across the board. I think each contestant was challenged really well. There's a few of them I did not think it was going to go well, and I was pleasantly surprised on a lot of them. To me, Slade was like the most surprising. I was not a Slade fan earlier in the competition, and tonight he made me a believer. Like, I absolutely would have put him in the top 3. I was sitting next to Dalton, and I think as soon as he got done, I said he's in the finals. I was convinced that he was going to be in the finals because of that performance.
Well, I have class with Dr. Dickman, and he told me that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the show, and he was really upset about it because he picked this song for Slade, and I think he did a good job on picking this song, Dan.
Yeah, I liked it. I was surprised that he wasn't saved because I thought he did that well tonight.
Can we do a vote? Who would have saved Slade tonight? Oh, wow. Everybody but one of the judges.
I don't want to be against us. I'm not voting. I'm abstaining.
This is my fault. This is my thought toward it. Is in this competition, it's a competition for a reason, and you want to see growth in the competition. But with Maya, it was like boom. She came out like swinging at the first. I'd rather go blind. It was just amazing, and she's kind of just fizzled out throughout the entire competition. But Slade, he's been trying his best, and he's been working on his presentation. He's been working on his voice, and you can tell that he's made a huge difference. There's a huge difference between him tonight and the first time he was on that stage. And I think he should have deserved the top 3 just for that.
Okay. This was Slade's best performance, hands down, and I think that he did an absolute fabulous job. But his past performances have been good, but nothing compared to tonight. So, you know, whether or not you base it just on tonight or you base it on past performances, that's, you know, it's a judge's call. So, and they chose to base it on past performances, and not that Maya didn't do a good job tonight. I think she did a
And
really
it's
good
not
job
even like
tonight.
it's a horrible choice
Yeah.
between Maya and
Yeah.
Slade. It's
Yeah.
just Maya's crazy good too. So it's like we're just
Hey,
picking over the
Let's
rules.
put this in perspective. Most of them are freshmen. They can all come back.
Sure.
So, you know, there's nobody that's a senior that doesn't get another chance to do this. So they're all freshmen, and I'm really excited that everybody gets to come back.
Yeah. Unless Maya makes it to the Olympics, then remember us.
Somebody that I thought absolutely killed it, and I'm gonna ask Lisa this question because she loves Whitney Houston.
Okay?
Elizabeth, how did you think she did?
Oh, I think she did a fabulous job. I was so happy. I was so happy that she, you know, did it justice and just killed it. Just absolutely killed it.
Lawson?
I think she did a great job with Dolly Parton's song. I think Dolly would be proud. And she got a standing ovation, which I have not seen one.
But she did the Whitney Houston version of
Yes.
Dolly Parton's song.
Yes.
Let me clarify, please.
I was sitting with one of the
Clarify.
cast members who did not know that it was a Dolly Parton song. She said, "Stop it. You are out of cab. That is not Dolly Parton."
And she's right over
And
there.
I am not going to say Rebecca's name.
I'm glad you kept that confidential. She would really appreciate that.
I really respect Rebecca a lot, except for the music opinion.
Aaron, who do you think did their best performance besides obviously Slade, because we've all kind of agreed as a group, that he did great.
So who did I think did the best performance? Okay. We haven't talked about her tonight, but Nikki. She has just continued to grow and prove herself throughout this competition. And I rarely get chill bumps when people sing, but tonight I was like, oh, I think I needed a CPR because that was so good. She made Carrie proud. Carrie and I like this, and she called me.
Mediocre at best.
It's hard to find a good piano player. She's still looking.
Hopefully she finds someone better next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Good thing she has a live band.
Carmack, your best performance?
You know, anybody who takes a Whitney Houston song, and
Oh, man.
you know,
The
Push
gauntlet,
him
and
the gauntlet has been thrown.
you know, Elizabeth just did so. I mean, how many times have you seen a standing ovation? And that speaks for itself. I mean, Elizabeth just such a good job tonight. And honestly, with her and Nikki, it's like picking A and A, B. You know, I
I just want to point out that he just whispered to me, I got one. Just so you know.
Has been.
Yes.
That is, no, that's okay, yeah.
Dalton, are you wanting to come back to school and try again, or? is it-
No thanks, no thanks,
Okay.
school's not a thing anymore.
Jared, you've played in a band. You still play in a band, or
Yeah.
sort of? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of
For
what.
hire, so.
Okay.
For the hire.
How do you think our top 4 now? How do you think they'll do in front of a live band? Because that sounds different.
It's hard to tell, man. I think a lot of it just has to do with their background. I know Nikki, I know she's been involved in church her whole life, so probably playing with live musicians isn't going to face her too much. I think Elizabeth has as well, to my knowledge. I'm not sure about the other two, so it really depends on just the quality of musicians in the band and how well they're able to follow, and vice versa. I mean, it's kind of it's an interesting dance, and sometimes the band's leading the singer, and sometimes the singer's leading the band. So it'll be fun to watch, that's for sure.
Dina, what do you think about? I didn't lose it, Lisa. I did not lose my place. I was right over here somewhere. Who do she think's gonna win?
Yeah.
Well, who do you think's gonna win?
Um,
No.
like Carmack said, it would be between Nikki and Elizabeth for me.
Who?
Between Nikki and Elizabeth for me. Which I've only seen them perform twice, so.
Aaron, did you have backstage interviews today?
I did, but I didn't do them. I left it to Dakota, who was taking my spot after I graduated, just to get him some experience. So I didn't get a chance to go back there and talk to anybody.
She came in with me.
We all take different paths. Sometimes we go over and around and through and back.
Coming from the person that's been here for 10
I have 2 degrees, 2.
Almost a doctorate.
I need one.
Oh, Lord.
Lisa,
Yes.
I've made you look like the bad guy all day.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. Don't take it out on me.
Mhm.
She's going to. The crowd, when they reacted towards them saving my over-slaved, I thought it was gonna be a riot.
You know, Slade always has had a good following whenever he performs, so it was expected. You know, it's totally a judge's decision, so we support and, try and.
Do you think, because you always go back with the judges when they do the voting and everything, and they pick, and you know how they feel about each of the contestants and everything. Do you think if Dickman was here tonight, that the judges' save might have been a little harder, not different, but a little harder than what it was on?
It probably would have been harder, but I think the end result would have been the same. Just based on past conversations with the judges. They were, pretty consistent on who has been in their top 3. So I think it would have been the same result.
Okay.
And back to that riot thing, I will tell you the judges were like, we need to get out of here.
Well, and I know we're about out of time, and that's not bad for CAB. The boos or the applause, we just want a response. So
Yeah.
regardless of what it is, that's what we want. So
Yeah, I mean, as long as the student body is engaged and reacting, and as long as it's not a negative reaction, booing is a negative reaction. I understand that, but as long as it's not harmful and nobody's getting hurt and all that stuff, as long as nobody's throwing anything, we're people are allowed to have their opinions.
Yeah.
So that's what we want. We want discussion, we want opinions, and we want people engaged. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you for watching the after show. Catch us next time, and it'll be the finale. Thank you guys.